Me back again. So in this video, I'm gonna break down my latest tax return. So this is a self-assessment tax return, also known as a SA 302. Now, the usual format is obviously just A4, it's portrait. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to fit it on this screen because obviously this screen is horizontal landscape mode, so I had to cut it into two pieces. Now, there's going to be some idiot that's going to say, oh, this is probably doctored or faked and that. When a man talks like that, when a man tries to say that someone's tax return is fake and doctored because they're earning 70 grand a year, it just lets me know that they do not earn 70 grand a year. Do you think Alan Sugar, Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk will give a damn about someone's tax return being 70 grand a year? No, because them man they earn way more than that. You know what? It just reminds me. I used to chat to someone before, and I must have said to them in one conversation, like, yeah, man earns about 70 grand a year and that. And then I don't know, a month later, I must have said, yeah, I earn about 60 grand a year. A man pulled me on, he said, hold on a minute, you told me that you earn 70 grand a year in one conversation. Now you're saying 60 grand a year in another conversation. I'm thinking, like, rah, man's really holding on to every single word and that. And it's not because it's a difference of 10,000. Because if I told him in one conversation I earn 30 grand and in another conversation I earn 20 grand, well, if he earned 60 grand, he wouldn't give a shit. It's because he slightly sees man in competition. You see certain man out here, yeah, like they're really watching your pockets and that. So they're going to hold on to every single word that you say. So like I've said to you lot in my videos, I earn between 60 and 70 grand a year. And here's the tax return to prove it. Some people, like I said, will try and say this is fake. How the hell am I going to get hold of someone else's tax return with the exact same initials as me? My name is Mr. Jelani Levy Knight. How the hell am I going to find someone else's tax return that's got the exact same initials as me? How am I going to find someone with Mr. JL Knight's tax return? It's almost impossible. So anyway, this video is going to slightly turn into a PAYE versus self-employed person's video on that. So obviously I'm self-employed, so I'm going to be for self-employed. So as we can see in the red box, total income received is 74,477, yeah? But basically what happens is you get like £12,000 tax-free allowance. So I don't get taxed on the full £74,000. I only get taxed on 61,000, which is basically the difference between the two. The difference between 74,000 and 61,900. Call it 62,000 is 12 grand. So that's why I'm only getting taxed on 61,000. Because if you take 74,000 and you minus that by 12, it gives you 61,000 basically. So as you can see above my head, there's a blue box which says 10,692. That's the total tax that I need to pay. So, when they've taken into consideration that 61,000, that's taxable, they've come up with a tax figure of 10,000. Well, obviously, after my accountant's done his thing. Right, I'm just going to skip to the next. So like I said, this video is going to slightly turn into a PAYE versus self-employed video. So all the figures you see on screen, none of those are mine. What I did was I wanted to prove that being self-employed is better than being PAYE. You don't have to pay as much tax if you're self-employed as opposed to being PAYE. So what I did was, you see the top set of figures where it says how we calculated this? I typed in on the government website, DirectGov government website, 74,447. That's how much I earn myself. So I typed in those figures on the government website to see how much a PAYE person would pay in tax, just to compare it to the amount that I have to pay in tax. Remember, I have to pay about 10,000 something in tax. So the gross income, again, is the same as mine, 74,447. Now, what I'm going to do is, you see above, you see where it says 7,540 and then 9,667 and that, yeah? What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down those figures on another screen. But below, I've done the exact same thing on a different website. It's basically called salary calculator. I typed in 74,447 and it shows you that the tax that you pay is going to be about 17,210. Remember, I'm only paying 10,000. A PAYE person will be paying 17,000. So it's a difference of 7,000. And some people might think, oh, it's not that much blood. 7,000 can get you a little decent car, you know. 7,000 can get you on 2 holidays. 7,000 can get you look a Moncler, you know, look a Gucci and that. So as you can see, the figures above, the take-home pay is 53,700, and the figures below, the take-home pay is basically 53,700. Same, almost exactly the same. It's just obviously the figures below tell you how much you pay in tax. The figures above don't tell you that, but you can kind of work out how much you pay in tax and that by comparing the difference between the two. So on to the next screen. On the next screen, I'm going to break down the top part where it says how we calculated this. Again, how we calculated this. These are figures from the direct government website. If you were PAYE and if you were earning 74,447, not self-employed, if you were PAYE. So at the top, you can see it says 74,000 in blue. And then below it says income tax at 20% and then income tax at 40%. Now, if you look over, I'm going to break down how the tax works. Let's use a nice, easy figure. Let's say if you're PAYE and you earn 100 grand for the year. Let's say you take that 100 grand for the year and you lay it out on your dining table. Remember I said approximately £12,000 is tax-free. It's actually £12,570, which is tax-free. So let's say you got the 100 grand laid out on your table. The first 12,570, put it to the side. That's tax-free. You pay no tax on that. Then if you take 12,571 to basically 50,000, if you cut that into a section, imagine it's a pie. Imagine you cut that into a section. That section there, you have to pay 20% on. Then there is a remaining 50 to 100 grand basically. That section of the quote-unquote pie, you have to pay 40% tax on that. That's how it works. There's plenty of videos online that break it down, you know, using images and whatever and that, make it a little bit easier. But essentially, that's how it works. Again, let's say you was earning 80 grand for the year. The first 12,500, put that to the side, that's tax-free. The remaining piece between the 12,000 to the 50 grand, you pay 20% on that. Between 50 grand and 80 grand, which is 30 grand, that 30,000, you pay 40% tax on that. That's how it works. So, yeah, PAYE people, they will pay £17,000 in tax. And that's not even taking into account, pension. That's not taking into account potential student loans. You understand? So being PAYE, you're going to be at a disadvantage. I will always say, become self-employed. I will never, ever go back to being a PAYE employee. So as a self-employed man, obviously I've earned £74,000 for the year. If I was PAYE, we can cut that right down to a maximum, yeah? If I was lucky, a maximum of about 45 grand a year, probably. Never would it hit 74 grand as a PAYE, man. Never. So this is the reason why I'll never go back to being PAYE. I don't give a damn about annual leave. I don't give a damn about getting a free council van or a free company van with, you know, what do they call it? Personal use allowance. I don't give a damn about that bullshit. Oh, you know, but what if you get sick? Blood, listen, let me tell you something. When you're self-employed, your body creates its own antibiotics. You don't get sick. I haven't had no sick days. And you know what? When I have sick days, I still go into work. Yeah, a little bit of flu. I don't give a damn. Still going to work. Now, the reason why I'm wearing this body warmer and that is because I was about to go out for a run and I realized my fucking iPod needed charging. I don't care what the weather is. I don't care if I'm feeling under the weather. I don't care if I'm sick. I'll still go running. This is why I'm wearing the body one, because I was actually supposed to go running, but my iPod needed charge. So let me make this video on that. So, hey, it's up to you. You lot can have all your little benefits and that, whatever it is. Do what you want. But I'm saying that, like, yo, you will save a lot more money and you have a lot more money in your pocket if, you know, you go self-employed. Now, someone will say, oh, you know, but if you go sick, then you ain't got no cover in that. Bro, you can get like sick, kind of like critical illness cover and stuff like that anyway. You can pay a little £100 insurance every month. So let's say, yeah, the difference between PAYE in this example and self-employed is self-employed, you pay 10 grand in tax, and PAYE, you pay 17 grand in tax. So it's a £7,000 extra that the person who's self-employed don't have to pay. Well then, okay, you just pay £100 a month out of that 7,000 towards your critical illness or your sick cover, whatever they call it, which will take you down to, well, let's say it's £100 a month, 100 times 12, that's 1,200. Okay, now you're at 5,800 and that. You still got more than if you was a PAYE. So this is the reason why I'll never go back to being PAYE. Self-employed all the fucking way. Anyway, man, that's it for today. But I just had to make this video on that because there's certain people out here, they just don't believe that you can earn certain amounts of money in that. And when a man doubts, oh, I doubt he earns £74,000 as an electrician and that, it's because you've never seen that sort of money. If a man was an electrician and he was earning 60 grand a year consistently, he could believe, yeah, you could earn 74,000. It's only 14,000 more. But if a man has only worked at Asda his whole life, earning 20 grand a year, he's never going to believe that you can earn £74,000. And trust me, I earn more than this. I earn more than this. I'm telling you, in terms of the amount of money that comes into my account, I'll say I'm about 100 grand a year. Easily. Easily. Now, obviously, I spend money through my business account. So my Tesco shopping and whatever and that, I don't put that into my personal account and spend it. I spend it out of the business account. Because remember, if you do food shopping and that, and petrol and whatnot and that, that's all, you know, company and business expense and that. So that money, you don't need to pay yourself that money and then go and spend it on those things. You just spend it out of your business account and that. Anyway, stay tuned for the next video. Stay wise. Ton.